Hello. So today we're gonna go over my review of Tag as a grading company. I'm just gonna give my thoughts and just kind of go through like a deep dive and just kind of see how they are as a grading company. So let's just dive right in. If you didn't see my live stream video that I did last week, I'm just doing like an unboxing. Post a link in the description. Okay, so first of all, let's just see. I'm gonna go out and say it and just say that this is probably definitely my favorite looking slabs, like without a doubt. Super nice. Like they just look so good for display and just everything. And I will definitely go in more in depth with like how they do their overall grading, and we'll just kind of like break it down bit by bit. So overall, look and feel is great compared to like the other slabs here. Like Beckett's is really nice too. So nice and thick case. I do like that Beckett has a plastic sleeve, so that's great. I have no issues with AGS either. Those are nice clean slabs too. Grading process is all super easy. They look fine. You know, if anything, they look a lot like PSA. You know, they got like the symbol on the bottom. Their case is a little bit more clear than PSA's. Definitely feel the quality a little bit better than PSA. PSA has always just felt very flimsy and just, you know, feels like it could break real easily. So overall with case-wise, AGS is fine. I have no issues with really anything. I'll take anything. You know, I'll take any card graded, any graded cards. I mean, like I have this weird thing. I'm not even heard of this company before. But they, you know, this slab feels nice too. And even with the CGC updated black label, which I think is way better than the blue ones. Their pristine is just really nice. Just pops right out. The gold and everything, just really great. So as far as like what CGC's done, I definitely approve of. I think these are really nice and they just look really good. The plain and the pristine, because you know this way you're able to differentiate between the two and just gives it more of like a, say, pristine sort of feel to it. Even AGS has kind of done something similar with the gold. They used to have the blue like borders, and now they went to anything above a 9.5, or I think 9.5 and a 10 is gold, and they even have a pristine label, which is it's like a silvery, I think. I'll post a picture of it. So that's definitely pretty nice too. So I definitely like the update that they've done with the blue into the gold, kind of give it more of like a higher quality feel, I guess. So other than that, packaging was really simple. Everything came in perfectly fine. They shipped me with these little card sleeves, graded card sleeves. So I don't care for them too much, but as you can see, I just went ahead and put them on my 10s. So definitely nice little added feature. So you go to the Tag website here and let's scroll down. It's got the whole pop report here. I sent in 20 cards. Pretty standard, nice and clean. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I won't go through all of them, but we'll go through some of them. And let's just, you click the little dig report here and boom, pops up with the card. And as you can tell, here we go. We got the Blissey tag graded 9. So let's start with this one here. Let's see here, we got this little sidebar here. Transparency surface shows like the dings and whatnot. So definitely cool. Definitely very handy. And as you can tell already up here, I have got some surface dings. I got this one, and possibly, you know, that one. So let's just take a reference from the card here. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of digging with this. So under the naked eye, it is very hard to tell, but as you can see right here, if I can get it on camera here, It's just a little bit of a ding there. I mean, it's like very like, I mean, who am I to judge here? So, but let's dig a little deeper here. All right, so we got no dings, nothing on the surface. Okay, boom. Right here, dings, the front, top, left. Centering was off a little bit. And as far as centering goes, I was trying to dig a little deeper and trying to figure out like what, is it 60-40 or like, so anyway, I pulled it up here. Where are we at here? Centering metrics. So as you can see, centering ratio is given, which correlates directly with our grading rubric, i.e. 46-53, which qualifies for gem mint, which is anything within 55 to 45, etc. Okay, so that makes sense. So back to here, we got 45. Is it 45 and 55? Or is it 55 and 45? I'm assuming it's backwards, or maybe the centering is just that bad. So the centering here isn't from left to right on the front is not bad. And from top to bottom, clearly it's off of quite a few points here. And then you got the surface ink defects, which we can view here and right up at top. So let's just see here. Let's see if my camera can pick this up here. I'll turn on the light, and I mean, right barely there. See right there? So we got centering, and then we got a little, possibly a thing right there. I mean, it's like, there we go. So we got just like the surface scratch on the top of the card here. So scratch minus, and also some discoloring right here at the top, if you can see also. It's not from the case, it's from definitely on the card. So we got that little bit right here. Very, very hard to see. And then we got the light scratch right there. And then of course we got the centering issue being off a few points. So, okay, I mean, I'm not perfect. I mean, the grading is very harsh. And everything else right here seems pretty standard here. I don't really know what this fill and fray means. Like the fray on the card, like on the edge here, like being like, you see that? Like some whitening, or just, that's the only thing I can think of what that means. Other than that, I'm not 100% sure like what that is. I might have to do a little bit more digging on the report here, but I'm just, I can't seem to find out what the frill and fray means. So anyone has any, if someone can fill me in on that whole thing, that'd be great. And I'm assuming it's rated out of 1,000 here. So I'm really like, it seems like a lot of information there is being thrown at us, trying to figure out what's the main issue here. You know, I can kind of put it all together and figure it out. So, I mean, it's just still kind of confusing. Like, what are they using as like a grading tool sort of thing? Because I mean, even if you look over here, like their rubric page, out of 1,000, you know, front image center tolerance is 51 by 49, and is that 54 by 45 for sports, or 52 by 48 by for TCG. So it's just like, the problem that I'm having is trying to figure out like what these other numbers mean, and how do they add them all up together and they just kind of take an average, or it's still kind of confusing. But as far as like detail, like you get all this information, and it's like you click the front and the back of the card here, and it shows like where the ding is. Like, this is all great. Like, this is perfect. See, it shows everything like on the card, and you can go back in here and actually try to identify it. So that's really cool with having that. At least there's transparency with this, because AGS has the same thing, and they have the same problem where it's just like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Like, you're gonna have to clarify just a little bit, like really dumb it down for the rest of us, because I'm not in no way, shape, or form an expert on how stuff is supposed to be graded. It's like, if it looks good, it looks good. You know, if there's like a surface dink, that's clearly like a problem. But like all this X-ray imaging and stuff. It's like, wow, this is very in-depth. And that's probably why PSA is just, you know, people just click with them and they're just like, maybe people don't want to have all this information. Maybe this is just too much information. But I like to know what the reason my card got the grade that it got. You know, it just helps clarify. You know, it's like almost like, what are we doing here? If we're not trusting in this whole system that we've all accustomedly joined. But anyway, I digress. Let's moving on. So it's got like the pictures. This is all great. It shows everything, and it shows like the angle. I assume that's like the curve. I think you can zoom in here. Yeah, so you can zoom in here, and maybe it's like each and every little nick has like, is probably why the angle is like so low. It deducts off points for like these little divots. That's the only thing I can assume. But having all these pictures here is like perfect. This is great. Like, show me everything wrong with this card. And it's like, as far as like going in depth with each individual card here, it's definitely just like above and beyond in my opinion. But yep, you got the back edges, you got the pictures. I mean, pictures of everything. So really great. And then at the end of it, you got your little, they take a picture of the slab for you there. So very cool. And you can even download them to put them on your website or put them on TikTok Reels and stuff. And you get this exact photo here. So you don't have to like copy and paste it, all that stuff. So very cool. All right, so let's moving on to the next card here. So we got Cynthia's Ambition, got a 9. Let's find out why. All right, so here we go. Let's do that. Everything looks pretty standard under the naked eye. Let's see what the transparency looks like. And I'm not seeing any dinks or any sort of cuts or anything on the card, so good. Yep, see, no detection of anything. So we're just looking at a centering thing. And so we're at 55-40. I feel like the centering is pretty spot on, pretty good as far as the report is concerned. And but yeah, everything looks pretty solid. So going back to their whole thing right here with the centering, it's 55-45 is like perfect apparently. So 55-45, we're off 2 there, and we're off like 1 here. So okay, so the 2 points, this is where I'm trying to figure out like where does this lie on the number system as far as like why does it get the grade that it gets? And if I'm being completely honest with myself here, because it says there's no dings, no nothing, everything's good to go. The edge wear is perfect. All this stuff, like all the scores are pretty much around 1,000. But something else that kind of just bugs me here after doing some inspection on this card. So if you can see, there is a ding right here. And that is definitely something I would have noticed beforehand. And I've tried knocking it out, seeing if it was something, and it is definitely like a little, something stabbed it, not all the way through, but something clearly stabbed it or poked it or something happened. Yeah. But it is, my problem is that it's not showing up on this here, or even on this side here, and it's not even showing up on the actual picture here. So if we zoom in, what do we have here? It is on the top. So we got like top left. It is like showing as nothing. So did this happen while being placed in the case or grading? Like, very confusing. So other than that, and also with the graded image here, this is obviously not the card. So we're having some issues with the website, which is not a big deal for me, so I don't care. But it's the fact that it's like, okay, like, I mean, it was down the holiday, so I can give some wiggle room with like with it being just kind of chaotic and everything like that. So I don't know. So moving on, the Persian card, 8.5. I'm very curious to find out why. So we will do our little dig report here. Pretty standard. Let's just work our way top to bottom here. So telling me there's no nicks or any bumps or anything, except for right up here. So let's just go down and see what we can find here. Okay, so we got one ding on the front and two on the back in the corners. And the centering, it's good there, not good there on the back. So we got front, bottom left, and then back. Okay, so before we dig into our little report here, as you can see right here, we got ourselves a little crease or something. So nothing too crazy. And we got some kind of maybe some whitening on the bottom corner here. And possibly this right here. And then there's also something on the front here. Right there. Yeah, see, right at the top there. Going back to our report, we have got the corners, like I said, and then we got the front. So all tracks. And then if you click here, we got the edge wear. We can even go in depth. So boom, right there. Exactly where we said it was. So very cool. And we got all our pictures, of course. And then we got the graded image here. And once again, we got a wrong image. So, okay. So there's some images are there and some images aren't. So let's try a different one here. Let's go with this one here. We got a tag 9 and I even have a PSA 10. And if I'm being honest with myself here, looking at the PSA 10, this thing looks like it is slanted for some reason. Like centering is just like it's ever so slightly slanted. Like the card itself is just like tilted just like a tiny little bit. And I mean, even PSA is guilty of it too. Like I have a card here. See, we got ourselves a 10. But let's look at the back here. Like it's definitely thicker on the top. And I mean, this is me just nitpicking at it. But you can clearly see that it is definitely thicker on the top. To me, it doesn't matter, but so I don't know. I am just not seeing anything wrong with this one. Let's scroll down. Let's go to our Charizard real quick. Let's see why it got the grade it got. Okay, so here we are. Defects identified, notable grade significance. So we're looking at centering here. Okay, so centering here is 53 by 47. So it is 55 by 45. So we're off only like 2 points here, and we're off 3 points here. And there is no other wear and tear on this card whatsoever. So with the 3 points from top to bottom, left to right, on the front only is what it's saying. Because it's only showing the front. That is the problem. With these GX cards and tag team with the borders, I'm just not too familiar with how the centering is on these things. To me, it looks pretty great. I'm not going to complain. I'm more than okay with a 9 with this card, but I'm trying to figure out where is the grace period with some of these cards. Or maybe it was just a few points off from being a 10. I mean, like, I don't know. But either way, I have a 10 and I have a 9, so I'm happy either way. All right, so let's move on with this one here. This one has an 8. Can anyone tell me why? Centering looks good. Corners look good. Edges look good. So let's find out. Let's go back, look at our dig report. Lucario. All right, here we are. So let's see here. Let's do the transparency detector surface slider here. Nothing yet. Okay, look, we're starting to see something right here, right on the back. Ah, see? Right there. Almost undetectable. So this is cool. It's cool that I couldn't even see it. And I have to like barely see it with like the light shining on it. But everything else is flawless with this card. So let's look at the report here and let's see what the deal is. Let's see here, 50-50, off 5 points on each side. This one's good. This one's only 2-3 points. So centering isn't great. And there's one ding on the back. Boom. Let's go down right here. See, it even has a picture of it. So very cool. So I guess surface damages really knock the points, take off points for any card, I assume. So, and that is fine. Like, I can totally understand. So very cool. So that I feel like is pretty justified. So I mean, I seriously would not have noticed if it didn't have this sort of thing. So this is in the with this. Now this makes sense. It's starting to make a little bit more sense here. The overall deep imaging scans and stuff like that. So very cool. So let's move on with this one here. Let's see why it got an 8.5. All right, so here we are. Let's look at the transparency slider. Slide it all the way down. And I'm not seeing any sort of ding or anything at all. Possibly this right here in the corner. But let's just look. All right, so it's saying the back bottom center. Is the main reason why this didn't get the grade it got. Right down there. Ah, okay, here we go. Right there. It's like folded in a little bit. Yep, right there. So with that little nick is telling me why, and let's see, look at everything else here. The fill and the fray, I'm still trying to figure out, it's the left side here. So it would be this side, right? Okay, so we're seeing a little bit up here. So other than that, this and the nick at the bottom, and then maybe some slight centering issues, but I swear that was just like eyeballing it, that just looks way too good. Okay. And once again, here we are with a mixed up image. I'm trying to figure out, like, they're just like one behind. All right, let's look at this. All right, let's click on the Charizard here. Okay, so the Charizard's right. Charizard, then the Venusaur one. Scroll down to the end. Okay, so we're good. So there's only a few images that just get one or two behind. Let's look at the Inteleon. And see, that's just wrong too. Wrong image, generated image. All right, so while we're on this one here, let's take a look at it real quick. Okay. So everything looks good. Got a 10. Let's find out why I got a 10, not just take their word for it. Let's see here. There's any surface dings? No surface dings, no scratches, no nothing. Great. No dings. Edges fine. Surface fine. Good. 55-45. Perfect. Okay, so we got the centering here. It's off 5 points. That's off 1 point, so that still rounds up. So the front and back centering is good. But if you look at this is off by 4 points. So 4 and then 5. I mean, if you want to tally all that up, that's 9. So this is, I'm trying to figure out what the grace period is with centering being off, because my other card was better centering and had only 1 scratch on it. So I'm just very curious to see like what their process is with the grading. You know, it's like I see why, but I don't know how. So once again, I'm not going to go through every single card. I just wanted to kind of show you my thoughts on the whole process and just kind of compare with the other cards here. So we'll do one more here. Let's look at this one. This one got an 8.5. Let's just jump right into the dig report here. All right, so scroll all the way down. We got a little white speck here down at the bottom. Okay, right here. Definitely a little surface nick. See that right there, where it shines? Right there. Cool, I would not have caught that. Okay, and then we can even look at the centering. All right, so we got the back nick, boom, done, centering. 48 by 52. Centering on the back, 62-38. I'm just not too familiar with the centering. That is just wild. All right, so showing the back bottom, got a little nick right there. But then also another thing that struck me, which I know for a fact I would have noticed the first time. Look at this right here. That is a damaged surface mark. I tried looking, it is not something inside the case. It is an actual like mark. And I have no idea how that got there. I would not have sent this in if it had anything on the back. So my only conclusion is that it happened during grading. So, and of course I don't have any pictures to prove that, but I mean, come on. Like I would, for a fact, would not have sent that in. I mean, you could see it when I went and zooming in. I would have noticed that 100% and not even bothered sending it in, because there was cards that I was going to send in, but I had like little whitenings on the edge. Wasn't planning on sending those in. But yeah, this is that one's very concerning. So other than that, I had no other issues. Very simple, easy process. So another thing I forgot to mention, the QR code on the top, I've tried scanning them. I need to message them and maybe they need to be activated, but I haven't got them to work. So that's just another little detail. So Tag is definitely one of the better grading companies that I've worked with, but that's not without mentioning the issues that I've had. I don't fully understand the point system and how the grading works, because some cards look better than others, but have different grades. So hopefully they can clarify this in the future. A few issues with the pictures on the website being out of order, a couple of cards that had damage but not being reported. But other than that, I got my cards back within less than a month. Other than just having like the few issues here and there, hopefully I get that clarified soon. I mean, the look and feel of the slabs are pretty much gold in my opinion. So overall thoughts on Tag, definitely don't sleep on them. The only thing I would say is to make sure you take pictures of your cards front and back before sending them in, just to cover your ass. So hopefully I plan to do some more videos here into next couple months. I got my shows listed in the description, so definitely check them out if you're in the area. Come check me out. But yeah, other than that, hope everyone had a good New Year, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.